drink. Delicious.
Can we get a Gatorade sponsorship?
No.
I was here the whole time.
Magic.
Hametsu was delayed for a few reasons, which we are updating people on our streams every Thursday.
Yep.
First reason, completely on us. We are finishing off the writing, putting it in layout, getting it through a few more rounds of editing, making sure it was good. Second, that was like a couple weeks. Second reason, just back and forth with the printer. It took longer than we had anticipated or built in, and that's here is a PDF proof, here's a hard copy proof, here's this proof, here's this proof. I have a question about this. Oh, it needs to have 2 less pages.
Yeah.
We also had the slipcover in there at that point. The slipcover was a new addition, and we had to figure some things out. We had to increase the page width because it was like 20 pages short from actually filling in the minimum amount of their slipcover. We thought it was good to go. We said, let's print it. And then they started saying, oh, there's an issue with this item on this page. There's an issue with this item on this page. And there's about two more weeks of that going back and forth that we thought they were printing. And as they were hitting these items, they were like, there's an issue. Turns out, they had completely held the print job.
Yeah.
So at this point, we were like 2 weeks on us, 2 weeks on them, and then there's an additional 2+ weeks of issues of that.
Yeah.
Then it went into print.
Right.
So
We were originally told that we would get the shipment
Yeah.
at the end of October.
End of October, so we were looking at August or September fulfillment.
Yeah.
That got pushed to end of September. And then by the time that all of that stuff happened, and they said, we're going to send you your sample copy, that wasn't until now, which is end of August.
Right. Like the sample copy's on the way to us right now.
Yeah, it's going to hit us Monday.
Yeah.
So then they said, once you have your sample copy and sign off, we'll put it on ocean freight. And that starts the like 6 to 12 weeks getting
Actual
to us
shipping time.
sometime. So is it we get it next week and they get it in and it's August, September, starts shipping, a week or 2 in November it hits our shores? Maybe.
Yeah.
Is it end of November it hits?
Maybe.
Maybe. Is it in February of next year? Maybe.
Yeah.
On average, it should be like middle to end of November. And we were realizing this was an issue.
So, what are we going to do?
So, we're going to eat the cost of air freighting all of the backers copies to us to hit our fulfillment window.
Yeah.
Which ends up being right around $3,000
Yeah.
to air freight them. The rest of the books will go on an ocean ship
Ocean ship.
freighter,
There you go,
and
cargo
will
ship.
hit us in November or in middle into November.
Yeah, towards the end of the year sometime.
And that will be fulfilled normally. But it kind of hit this critical mass point of this is the nature of the beast, and we say we hate Kickstarter, we hate delays, we vertically integrate as much as we can with casting and MDF and shipping, and we try to do everything in-house to avoid this sort of stuff. Do we really just like throw our hands up when the one thing happens that we can't?
Right. All of our production is done.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
The other big difference is we're not charging anyone for doing this.
Right. We had talked about, well, do we allow people the time, or like the option to pay some fee to get theirs air freighted over?
Yeah.
Do we try to, there's all these other options, and we said that's too complicated, and
Yeah.
it sucks because that's not what they signed up for.
Right.
And as Black Site, if we can fix this problem, then we maybe not should, but we want to.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. This is a pretty significant cost. Like $3,000 is not money that we can just like invent.
No.
$3,000 for the backers is like significant addition because it's not the only shipping charge. We have the $3,000 for air freight, and we're still paying the freighter to make it across
To
the
ship
ocean.
the rest.
That this stuff would have been. So it's an additional $3,000. It was not in the scope of the project. It was not any of that. But it means backers get their books. It means our fulfillment date is potentially 2 to 3 months earlier. So we hit this window 7 to 9 months, depending if you count the beginning or end.
It allows us to
of the
just about
project.
hit the original fulfillment date. We'll be like a week off of that.
Which is important to us.
It
And it's,
matters.
It's part of this idea of a backroom versus other crowdfunding measures of like, we will do what it takes to hit these dates if we can.
Right.
What does that mean for backers?
So backers, if they got in during the backroom event,
Yeah.
those books should be here and ready to go out within like 2 to 3 weeks.
We've already got the quote. We've already got it set up. We say, yes, we want the slip-covered backroom backers books air freighted. And they say, great. And then it takes 3 or 4 days for them to get it together. They get it shipped out. It's in the air for a week, week and a half, hits our doorstep. And then we fulfill the backroom.
Yep.
Now, if you ordered late pre-order book, that is still on an ocean boat. You will not have it fulfilled. But if you've been waiting on any of the miniatures or like other products outside of the book that are not for sale right now, once we fulfill those through the backroom, they will be put up for general sale.
Yeah.
And it will just be standard item. You order it, it gets put in a box, goes to your doors.
Yeah, it won't. If you did like a late pre-order and you want to get some of the minis, the bosses, whatever, once the fulfillment's done and those go live, those products will just be live. They're not going to be dependent on the rest of the rule books coming in. You can just place those orders and they'll go out to you.
We say that the backroom is different, that we are building the company to have control over it, to be sustainable, containable, have all these, the workflow not hit these road bumps.
Right.
Now, there are some products like hardcover books that we cannot make in-house. And I feel like there is a dissonance there with this idea of we are in control and woe is me, I can't do anything about it. And then when Ben had the idea, what if we could do something about it? And we could.
Yeah.
So we're going to. Now, is it like the best financial decision for us? No. Is it going to sink the company? No. But does it mean that the backers and the dates that we set forth and this sort of more idea of the projects that we work on, is that upheld?
Right.
Okay, so the sample is in. I saw this briefly the other day, but I'm home now after ReaperCon, and I think this is looking pretty awesome. I'm super happy with the quality of this. This is the backroom slipcover. So if you pre-ordered it during the backroom event, you get this special little slipcover. It's got this little Hametsu backroom event tag on it. This book, honestly, I'm really happy with how this turned out. The quality of the printing is always really nice. This printer always does a very good job. They're expensive for sure, but Doug and I are just really happy with it. I can't wait for you guys to get this. I mean, you've been looking at the PDF for a while, which should give you a pretty good idea of, you know, the quality of the book, but seeing it as a physical piece is just so much cooler. You know, we put a lot of work into these books. It looks really good. So I think one of my favorite spreads in the book actually is some of the boss art spreads. Yeah, like I did all this like large key art for them. I just think they look really cool because the bosses are so iconic in this that, you know, and then some of the little Oni spreads are cool too. Look at that little guy. Look at these little guys. Hametsu. Gonna be arriving on your doorstep pretty soon. Time to get hype.